Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, Round 6. And if you'd like to check the layouts that are on Instagram, it's hashtag 30DSCBL6. And of course, there's the Facebook group, which you can join in and use this sketch right here. This is today's sketch. It has 3 stripes going at an angle, a title, 4 hearts, and 2 photos. And this is a photo that I'm going to use. It's of Luke on Halloween, dressed as a vampire. And I'm only going to have the 1 photo. I'm not going to have 2. And I might as well confess now, I'm not going to have hearts or stripes of paper or strips of paper either. I'm showing you the dies I got from Peachy Cheap, and most of them were already cut out in this bag from last year. So yeah, I'm pretty lucky. I didn't have to cut any die out. I did make a coffin, and you all know how I am about angles, so I thought I'd better make a template first. Oh, it was so easy. Maybe I'm getting used to angles. I don't know. But I could have done it on screen, but I already had it done, and I used the Sharpie, smash pen, so y'all could see the lines a little better and see what I was doing. The paper I'm using as my background is old school from 2014. And I'm going to work it in. Normally, I'd use the other side, but I'm going to use the front side today. Caution! Close eyes is squeamish about extreme photo cropping because I'm cropping the photo. Yeah, I was looking at old layouts and stuff because there's something coming up and I'd be using a technique from a long time ago. And I seen some photo cropping ones where you fussy cut the person out. That's what I'm going to do this time. I know that was probably popular like 15 years ago. And I thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and use it on this layout when I was looking for stuff, too, which I was looking for this, something to go with this picture and decided to go ahead and crop it. Since he had his cape all spread out, I thought, well, I can make him look like he's coming out of the coffin instead of just putting the coffin on the page. So that's what I did. And I know it looks kind of tall for him, but I figure he's a kid and maybe he's in the wrong coffin. He was in an adult's coffin. Mostly, I just wanted the coffin to show up well. And after I'd heard it down, I remembered I had my cobweb doily, spiderweb, I guess it's a spiderweb doily that I was going to use. So I'm going to have to go underneath it to be able to put it in. And I'm almost going to forget to cut it in half. I love those doilies. I don't know who thought to make cobwebs into a doily, paper doily, but I'm glad they did. The ghosts that I'm using on the layout, I fussy cut out. Probably not last year, probably a few years ago. I did a whole page, and when you only use 2, maybe 3 on a page, it lasts a while. That black cat is one of the dies from Peachy Cheap, and I'm going to layer it 4 times. And I knew there was 4 in there that I pulled them out of the bag, but I had to dig to make sure I found all 4 of them. And I'm still going to put foam tape behind him. I'm going to put him in front of the bird cage, and in the bird cage on the bottom, instead of a bird, it looks like, well, it's a bat with white on his chest, so maybe it was a vampire turned into a bat. And on the one that's taller, the bird cage that's taller, I'm going to put one of these Jolie's Boutique skull and crossbones thing. It's like a cameo, kind of, sort of. But I'm going to put it on there because I've had them a long time, and I used one last year, and I'm going to use one this year, maybe more. Now you see all the bats. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a punch laying there underneath those stickers, and it got punched out of there. And it punches like 6 things or 8 on there, even little teeny tiny leaves. But the die cut one was huge, so I really didn't want it to go up across the page like the strips of paper would on the sketch. And I'm going to have bats and stars. I decided I needed the variety in there. Once I put the bats down, I thought, man, they they need something else. So I'm going to add stars, and I am going to add some Heidi Swap too. This layout is going in Luke's album, and I can go old school on it because he don't know old school from new school or what on scrapbooking. But yeah, it's going to go in his album. And he loves scrapbook layouts. So, perfect son-in-law. And he gave me his favorite picture to scrap. I thought I'd do it as the last one that I do. I only like two more. So one more and then the one that he gave me because I'm still trying to figure it out after all this time. Since he asked me to do it, I want it to be as good as I can get it. The title, I'm going to use these little pieces that say like creepy, spooky, and so on. And it was a full page, and I started fussy cutting them out while I got lazy and didn't get them finished. So that's why some's getting cut out now. But unlike some sheets that has repeats on it, I couldn't find any repeats on this one. But I do know it's old. But my title's going to read Creepy, Spooky, Bats, or Vampires, correcting yourself. So creepy, spooky bats, talking about the bats, or vampire, meaning Luke instead. Oh, I can't even read tonight. And to get the phrase, word, or whatever of I just cut off the end of spider, and I'm tucking it in there. But I thought it worked. And the marker I'm using is an old Zig marker, but I am going to take my ink to go over the top of it so it'll look a little bit more like the creepy, spooky bats or vampire. So I didn't use anything new on my layout. Everything is pretty old, even my gold Heidi swap. And I used old dies, old cardstock, because this cardstock was in the package, so I know it wasn't my new cardstock. But yeah, I used everything old, so I'm glad that I got them on a layout. I've still got a pretty good sized container of Halloween. Pretty good size. Well, it's an iris container. So, as big as an iris container gets. But it's not quite full, but I put a dent in it last year, and I plan on putting a dent in it this year too. But there I covered part of that up. There's a place to write, it looked like, and it did have a skull under the skull that I used. And there's my title and my bats going at a diagonal up through there. And there's Luke as a vampire. But be sure to check out all the links down there below. There's been plenty and plenty of people that have joined in on this fun of 30 days of sketches, showing you all the different ways you can use a sketch. In case you were ever in doubt whether to use one or not, you could go off the rails like I did, or you can stick to it like I've been doing. I've done pretty good, I think, up till today. Well, maybe one other day I wasn't quite as good. But yeah, you can do it however you want. But yeah, you got so many choices down there. Check them out and do your layout and put it on Facebook. But if you leave a comment below, I'll get back with you. And if you liked the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. And those of you who already are, thank you so much. But have a happy, scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. And make a layout and put it on the Facebook group. Thanks. Bye.